Warning, Dazz Radio is not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast. 1K frequency is not intended to replace professional advice, and our views may not necessarily reflect those views of our featured guests.
Great to have you here with us. Welcome to 1K Frequency with your hosts, Dazzo, Skittlekicks, and Atlas.
What's going on, boys and girls, and welcome back to another episode of 1K Frequency on Dazz Radio. I am Mr. Dazzo, and we are back with Mr. Skittlekicks.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on?
Not a whole lot. Just did some work today outside. It was we've had a lot of wind over the last few days, and it basically wreaked hell on our shed.
Yeah.
So we had to, which is basically it's like a it's like a tarp system that's actually around like really thin pipe or whatever, but it's good. I mean, it's like a 10 by 10 or 10 by 12, but then we've extended the back because we had other part of an old one that we kind of made it longer. So, but yeah, like all that stuff's tearing apart. We've got, I mean, the thing looks like a tacky ass thing, but whatever. And we had to, run some new ropes around the eyelets or whatever, what's left of them, because they're all ripped out. Right. I mean, we get like sometimes hurricane force winds up here. It's insane. So whenever that happens, this thing just does not have a chance to survive. So I was helping my dad repair that thing and get that all set up. And then we had to move some stuff in the garage because in the next week, we're going to start building that little storage room inside there so I can bring my stuff up from Texas. And which I'm not looking forward to because, my point was to live in Texas, not move my shit back to Minnesota. So it is what it is. But even my fiance was like, you're going to have to do it because, I mean, it's getting too damn expensive down there. I'm like, you're not wrong. I mean, $112 for a 5x10 is not appropriate.
Yeah.
Especially when I was paying under $100 when I first rented it. So now, granted, I have had it for over a year. So, but, U-Haul needs to rate my asshole even more with a very spiny freaking dildo. So. Anyway, so other than that, by the way, we are running quite late. We've had some major audio technical issues because fuck Discord. And what was happening was Dazzo was hearing latency or echo on his end. Yeah. And it was also coming through the stream the other night. We don't know what's causing it. We're both technicians and we were literally trying to figure out what was going on. Like we tried everything possible we could think of outside of reinstalling the Discord app. Something he hasn't done yet. That might have to be because that might actually clear it up, but we didn't have time. So we hopped on to StreamYard to do our show. So, but we're still live on YouTube and
we're here.
Hopefully people will still want to come and hear us, because we have a very different show planned for tonight. We actually had topics for tonight, but after Dazzo's live stream last night, we kind of wanted to discuss something that's been going on quite frequently, both of us as well as others you may know or whatever, and that's of course depression. And it is becoming a very, very interesting disorder for a lot of people. I mean, sometimes it gets very crippling. And it does. And with Dazzo's now, yours was actually stemmed from a physical injury, wasn't it?
No.
Part of it? Oh, really? Oh, okay. Or was it just life in general, just kicking the shit out of you?
I think it was just life in general that started happening the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever. It is what it is.
No, I
We
get
gotta
it.
deal with it.
Well, that's the thing though. Some people can't. That's the one thing I've learned is I've suffered from depression pretty much my whole life. And I can tell you that there hasn't been enough um what was I gonna say? There hasn't been enough of the oh, did I lose my connection here?
Nope.
Okay. It just like your screen went completely dark.
Yeah, it's doing some shit. I don't know why.
Okay. We can't win with technology. And we're about to lose Skype, so we can't even use that anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm sure as hell I'm not going to use Teams. Um anyway, so depression is one of those things that it is it's an evil mistress because whether it's a physical pain that you may be going through or just life kicking the shit out of you, everybody suffers from it on some level. Now, there are people who are better with coping with those problems. But the
Yeah.
worst thing that I do is I get self destructive with my depression. I get self destructive, self loathing. I
Yep.
get very, very, very dark. And I've got a couple of stories I can go into later um, because I was looking for an exit. I was at that point in my life where I was looking for the exit. And I had, in fact, it got to the point where I was literally plotting it out. And I've never been that dark in my life, but it was a very bad situation that could have ended up in tragedy, to be honest. And luckily,
Yeah.
it never happened. But I think that there is an aspect of the whole depression and treatment of it that really has gotten under my skin. It's
Mm-hmm.
when people out there sit there and say, just go get therapy. Just go get
Yeah.
drugs. You know? Yeah, like okay, I
Classic.
have gone through therapy. I have gone through psychology, psychiatry. I've done it all. I've had the brain butchers. Okay?
Yep.
It doesn't work. And it's not for a lack of trying or willingness. It is because these people that spend their thousands of dollars on a stupid degree that honestly is a waste of time
It
because
is.
I do believe it's a quack. I believe these are quack sciences. You know, I don't give a fuck about what's his nuts. That German guy. The fuck. What the hell's his name? You know, where therapy really started, when psychotherapy started with
Yeah.
him. Freud, Sigmund Freud. Um, I think he was full of shit. The brain is a very complex thing,
Right.
and we have such a very minute understanding of how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You have people that sit there and study this and it's like, oh, I can look at this and analyze this, and I can make comparisons to other people, but every individual is different. Everybody's experience in life is different.
Yep.
You can have similarities, but you cannot compare apples to apples. It is literally apples to horses. It's you know, it is so different for everybody.
Yep.
My depression stems from um not having tools to deal with life struggles. Um, and Maga is here. I just saw Mikey pop in. And I, oh, he's really quiet. I also
Maga.
think, I also think too that when we're talking about the psychology of depression, it goes deeper than some things. Like for example, with me, it was never fitting in. It
Yep.
didn't matter what I tried to do in life. It didn't matter. Like my dream was to be a musician professionally, which means making money at what you're doing. I didn't live for the money. It was just the ambition I had. And I pushed and pushed and it just never worked.
Yep.
And what I found that was so miserable was that as the as that dream was not becoming reality, I would get brutal with myself. I am honestly so tough on myself that I am unforgiving. I
Right.
am incapable of forgiving myself, which leads into an endless circle of depression. It ends in a circle of self-loathing,
Hmm.
and you can't escape it. You know, it's even more fucked up when people try to change their identities or their you know what's just because they think that'll make their lives better, and it fucks them up even more. And they end up in a lot more issue, having a lot more issues psychologically. And we have such a fucked up healthcare system, which is not even healthcare. It's literally, in my opinion, it's barely keep you alive care. You know, just dope you up, and that's all it is. In fact, I just read a report recently about Ritalin, which was
Oh
highly
God.
used. No, Ritalin was highly recommended back in the 80s
Yes, I
for kids
remember
with
that.
with ADHD. Now, I was given it when I was a kid because I thought this was the miracle drug, but when you find out, you read the bullshit behind it, it was fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
It was a bullshit thing that drug manufacturers were trying to push
Right.
because they thought that ADHD was a chemical imbalance, and it's not. Turns out we were lied to. And turns out that no, it really isn't. It probably is a thing,
For those
but
that are wondering, yeah, we are on
it's not quite that.
Streamlabs
It's different.
or
Like I
StreamYard.
fidget a lot. I pace a lot. I've always done this because my mind does not shut down.
Yep.
Is that attention deficit disorder? No, it's not. Do I have a deficiency in attention? No, I can just get fucking bored.
Hmm.
And again, when you're labeled something, that marginalizes you.
Yep.
When you are labeled or when you want to label yourself, you know, especially the pronoun crowd that just want to have like their identity known as a whatever pronoun they want to say. It's like you realize that you're labeling yourself, which means you're minimalizing yourself.
Yep.
And in my view, that's more of a fuck up. I think for me, the lack of coping skills has always been a problem. So I want to go into a story real quick here, and then I'll turn it over to you, Daz.
Okay,
Um,
go for it.
when my fiance and I broke up, we broke up
Hmm.
twice in life. Once in 2013 and once in 2019.
Yep.
And a lot of the first time was stemmed from a trust issue I had. My past is very colorful. The girls I had dated prior to her,
Hmm.
uh, three of them had cheated on me.
Ooh.
One, I walked in on fucking another dude.
Ew.
That was not good.
Gross.
Now, if I had a Glockenspiel, guy probably
Hmm.
would have. I would have delivered that man from his meat suit, but I did not. Um, and instead, I walked out of the apartment. I said, "I'm done."
Yep.
Now, this is somebody I was with for 3 years,
Hmm.
and she had a reputation for not hitting on guys, but because our relationship was so on the rocks half the time because she was a freaking control freak.
Oh,
It
she's one of
really
those.
demoralized. It was like so demoralizing. And then it happened 2 more times in my life.
Oh wow.
And you find out that women can just be assholes. Like, I mean, fuck it sometimes, they can just be real bitches. And if they say, well, it's offensive. No, what's offensive is that you walk in on somebody fucking your woman or your dude. That's what's fucking offensive. That's what you should be pissed about.
Yep.
Anyway, um,
Yep.
that did not happen with my fiance, but what did happen was because I had trust issues,
Hmm.
if there was one particular individual, I will not name this person's name because it is not worth mentioning because this person is extremely evil.
Right.
Um, had been trying to get with her for years, long before I was even in the picture. In fact, this person was hitting on her when she was dating his best friend.
Wow.
When we had arguments, she and I rarely ever fought with her because I really wanted to show that I was not that person. But
Right.
jealousy takes over.
Hmm.
Jealousy formats your brain into something completely different. And this led into a lot more like, I trust you, but I don't trust this person. And that to her said, no, you don't trust me.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually it got to the point where we started saying some horrible shit to each other. And I made the comment to her that I will not repeat, because it's not, I didn't call her a name.
Yeah.
I made a comparison, and it was a below the belt comparison. And it was not something, and it was about a family member of hers.
Ooh.
And I'm not repeating it because it was,
Yep.
even I know it was a low blow, but I was so bitter and pissed. And
Mm-hmm.
and then then it was like, okay, well, guess what, you're just like this person. And she was really freaked out about because my jealousy turned into like the anger, and my anger can sometimes be uncontrollable.
Right.
And I have a temper that I try to really keep under control, but sometimes I lose it sometimes. I literally do feel like, Bruce Banner when becomes the Hulk, because it literally becomes uncontrollable. It is
Mm-hmm.
it is it's unadulterated freaking absolute rage. And it is something that tore us apart. And then, um, because it ended so bitterly at the time, I lost my shit. I was just like so angry because I blamed myself over that. And I was like, okay, this is, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but eventually and it was funny because we did reconnect after like a couple of months apart. I think this happened like August or September, and then by like the following, I think January
Yeah.
or February, we started to reconnect. And and it was literally, somebody had posted a thing on her Facebook account that, basically posted a message for her to see that, she was sorry about the loss of her dog. And I had just finished a podcast, and I was I found out that her dog died from this friend of hers. And I
Wow.
knew exactly which dog it was, and that's what made, because I tried to reconnect with her sooner than that, like within date, like less than 24 hours. I was trying to reconnect with her, but I was so angry and bitter. All I was
Right.
like doing was spitting venom in emails. I'm like, I can't do this. But that's what it did. Now let's fast forward. We were back together. It was, we started to rebuild, rekindle, whatever. And I even moved down there to live down in Texas. And then
Mm-hmm.
in 2019 or 20 no 20 early 2018, I'd got a new job, and I was going to have to move to Wisconsin because that's where my job was telling me to go,
Mm.
because reasons they would not let me work from home, even though it was an IT job. They was like, nope, you're coming up here. If you don't do it, you're not going to have a job.
Classic.
And at this point, my fiance's grandmother had become very, very, very sick. She had cancer, and it was, wrecking, the entire family, because it was like, she was, a matriarch, and it was like,
Yeah.
this is her grandmother. It's
Mm-hmm.
and what she said is that her grandmother was her person. And if you know what that means like that's the confidant. And even to this day, like she'll tear up and almost start bawling when she talks about her. So
Yep.
it's a very, very sensitive topic to mention about her grandmother. We always talk about her in like the positive, but sometimes it's like, it just breaks her. So, um, and also with my depression, it also leads to when she bleeds, I bleed. Everything that she goes through, I feel
Yep.
through that. So anyway, 2019 comes around, and we're just talking about, we've been talking about this for years about getting married and stuff like that. I'd lost that job, and eventually we were trying to set up like we were going to have the reception at.
Mm-hmm.
I get a text from her saying, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she wouldn't even take my phone call.
Mm.
And it turned out that the issue that happened in 2013 was still haunting her. That whole thing, not about us, but what happened to her, was haunting
Right.
her.
Right.
And it right because she honestly felt like, because I was very adamant about like, like I looked at her as like somebody perfect, and I'm like, I was telling like, oh, you're so perfect for me and whatever, but she thought it was like perfection, like absolute, and it's like, no, it was more like you're just perfect for me, and I take flaws and all. Anyway, my
Mm-hmm.
point to this whole story is that this is where it got very dark. This is where my depression really set in. And I had to set this up because when this happened, like I said, we were planning for our wedding. And I remember I got so dark. And I remember I was plotting out what I was going to do. I was going to go to my old hunting ground, and which was basically buried in the woods somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And folks, if this bothers you, I'm sorry, but this needs to be known that this is how dark people can get.
Yeah.
I was going to drive up there at night. I was going to find roughly where I used to hunt at. And because it's so wooded, I knew there would be a lot of downed trees from all the snow and things like that, because we just had that
Mm.
vortex come through and dropped a shit ton of snow. I was going to drive into the woods and literally cover the vehicle up with branches or whatever, so you couldn't see it from a sky view or anything like that. I literally was planning this out.
Wow.
And then before I did that, I was actually going to dig a giant 6-foot deep hole. I was going to then literally roll the car over that hole, go underneath that car, and literally slit my throat.
Wow.
That's how fucking dark I got.
Holy
I
shit.
will I will tell you what saved me. I told my brother this. We're almost 17 years apart in age. And I said, dude, I am so on my way out. And he's like, don't don't force dad to get over another family member. He's not even over mom, because
Yeah.
our mom passed away in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
That's what woke me up. When I realized what that would do to my family. Not to mention what that would have done to my fiance, because I told my fiance how bad it got. And she's like, if you had done that, I don't know what I would have done
Yeah.
other than feel absolute guilt. And that would be something that she would have harbored for the rest of her life. She would never have gotten
Mm-hmm.
over that. And that woke me up. It sometimes it just takes somebody to just tell you that and just wake up to reality and say, no, just don't do it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a psychologist. It wasn't some fucking shrink or some like pill or whatever, because fuck that. This was a family member, my brother. And like I said, we are far apart in age. I'm nearly 50 and he's only in his 30s. So it's a hell of a distance, I'll tell you that. But I love him to death. And in my view, he saved my life.
Yeah.
He really did. And because if I had done that, who would have found me? Who would have found me? Because that's a very secluded area where I was going to go.
Yeah.
So
And
luckily
we
it didn't
wouldn't have
happen.
fucking met.
What's that?
And we wouldn't have fucking met.
No, that's true. Like our show would never would have existed, and yeah, it's crazy to think about like the chain thing. It's like it's almost like that. It's a Wonderful Life. Like, what would happen if I was never there?
Yeah.
What would life be like? Would people even miss me? Would people even know about me if
Yeah.
I was not there?
Exactly.
And you realize, oh yeah, it's a big deal. Like, one person can make an impact in so many lives, and I know I have.
Mm-hmm.
I never appreciate it. So even though I still deal with depression on a daily basis, a lot of it is just I have also uncontrollable stress. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to control my stress. I have, and I know that taxes my health. In fact, if you look at our show notes, I literally put down that depression is a silent killer.
Yep.
Heart attacks are not your killer.
No.
Stress, not just stress, but it's depression is the silent killer, because that is what can lead you to a heart attack. And maybe that may have caused, I mean, besides the fact that I ate like shit, but I've often wondered if my depression triggered that heart attack I had a couple of years ago. I don't know, but I wouldn't put it past now.
Yeah.
At any rate, so yeah, I don't have good stress management, and I don't have good, I don't always feel great about myself. But I think a lot of it does stem from the fact that things that I had hoped and wished for just never came true. Sometimes you just never get the golden ticket.
Nope.
So anyway, I've monopolized this conversation far too much. I apologize for that, but like I said, you are not alone when it comes to depression. Every one of us on some level suffers from it. Like I said, some people are really good at masking it. Others have no self-control whatsoever. Like I don't have self-control over depression. So anyway, so what's your story, dude?
My story?
Yeah.
So Sunday, I mean, I've had depression for a while, but it wasn't serious enough. And sometimes it was just mood swings as well.
Are you on your period?
Nah. Dude,
I don't mean to make jokes
seriously.
about it. I'm sorry, but when you said that you have mood swings, why did my mind went there? I don't know.
Yeah, it's all good.
Anyway, so go ahead. I didn't mean to throw you off.
I mean, even from time to time, work stress can lead to depression.
I agree with that 100%. Yeah, I've experienced
firsthand.
Yep.
Whereas
If the workplace does not feel like comfortable, or you have an asshole boss or whatever, like just makes you feel like you're a pile of shit because even though you're working your ass off, it's not to their standards.
Yep.
It's like, and they just do that every day. It's almost like they're the bully, man. Like the kindergarten bully.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your milk money, give me your lunch money. I'm gonna beat you up if you don't do this.
Yep.
And it's like, I'm not a bully. Well, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are a bully. You are a fucking bully, and it sucks. Look, I've dealt with people like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't deal with it very well. I don't.
Yeah.
I literally will personalize it and take that yoke upon my shoulders and say, that's all my fault.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So work is definitely can be a stressor, and just life in general. Life is not supposed to be easy at all, but damn, cut me some slack. I'm drowning here. I'm drowning.
I mean, even yesterday when I was streaming a PGA Tour, and I was technically kind of stressing out because of audio issue.
Oh God, yeah, you were.
Because we were live. I could figure it out of everything I did so far. I'm like, it has to be either a Discord issue or something else is bugging me. But I'm like, I did everything I fucking thought out of my head.
Yep.
Tried resetting, restarting, everything. And we were live, so.
And that's probably stressful because you're like you can't you have like this obligation as a streamer, like you just cannot go dead like that.
Yeah.
With like just shut your stream down. I mean, unless it's like a really bad issue, which I've seen some professional streamers like they have a glitch and they have to shut down and then reboot or whatever and then come back, and people get it. But it's worse when the problem does not go away after what you do. And people need to know, we are technicians. We know IT stuff. We know computers. We know audio. We are in this industry, and we have been for years. Dazzo works in it to this day. He's in radio. And as I said, he's in radio. So he's around now. He's around commercial grade equipment for the most part, but still, most of what he uses can be shrunk down into what we actually have as consumers. So my point is, the littlest things can set us off. We're perfectionists as technicians. We just want results. And I know that anger in Dazz is like, motherfucking son of God. It's like, it's like Incredible Hulk coming out of Dazz, which would be really funny as hell.
Oh God.
Man, I can't. Wow. I'm gonna send you
Oh
some
my
green paint. I'm
God.
gonna send you some green paint to paint yourself green.
Oh no.
Just don't let your little one get a hold of it. I mean, it'd be cute if she was She-Hulk,
Oh
but
God.
but um
Oh
anyway,
my
so
God.
so yeah, that I know, right? That type of stress, work-related stress, can absolutely lead to depression. Especially
Anything
because we're yeah,
leads
we are
to
literally under
depression.
this like get it done 5 days ago with like no support whatsoever. You're just supposed to know this shit. Nobody believes in just letting us do our job. Like we are hired for a reason. Let us do our jobs. And the people that don't know shit that run the operation stick their nose in where it doesn't belong. And dude, I feel your pain on that because I know your boss has done that many times.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, especially when it came to like older computers that really should not be trying to run Windows 10, let alone Windows 7. And he's like, "Get this working." It's like, dude, I had that same problem at my old job at Ford. When I was working IT over there, it's like we had these old Printronix printers that were basically dot matrix printers,
Mm,
and they would get so filthy because we're in a factory, and
yep.
just black dust everywhere. God knows what I inhaled there. And on top of that, people love to eat food around it and set sandwiches on top of these damn things, which gets into the fucking printer because yeah, these things are almost all exposed. The print head is almost all exposed and it's ribbon. So you cannot get that dirty. And then it was like, oh, it's got a line down
Hey,
the thing.
Ethan.
Well, what the fuck? These things are junk. And I would get bitched at, like, clean it up, clean it up. I'm like, dude, do you understand? This does not clean up. You
Nope.
don't want me taking the line down, but I'll have to if I'm going to have to sit here and clean these up. I mean, dude, I swear to God, I actually went to the nurses station just because I was friends with the nurses there.
Yeah.
And one of the things they did was they checked my blood pressure. That's when the early signs of high blood pressure were starting. And that was in 2007.
Yep.
And I did nothing about it back then. So, yeah. So when you talk about your work experience, I'm like, yep. I
Yep.
wrote that
We've been
country
there.
song. I wrote that country song. So, but yeah, I mean, and it's funny when I read stories like I read a story today. It's really, really sad. And it was all about this woman who didn't think that she was going to get her citizenship here in the States. And I don't know if she went through the process or what it was, but apparently she had a lot of issues with her health, like her mental health.
Mm.
But she never. But the thing is, what she ended up doing when she found this out,
Oh.
she literally
Yeah.
drowned her 7-year-old daughter.
Yep.
I mean, what do you even say to that other than how? I mean, if you're already depressed about that, you just killed your kid, and now you're gonna deal with that the rest of your life because you just murdered your child because of your own thing. It's like, and the thing is that and it was her fiance. I mentioned off cam or off show that it was actually her husband, that was her fiance. And he's
Yeah.
like, she never yelled at that kid. She never hit that kid. She did nothing of the sort. And this is what he came home to. And again, this is what our society has become. And it's not just, my country or Dazzo's, it's global. And we are in a spiritual battle between good and evil. Well, right now, evil is good and good is evil.
It is.
And you literally do not have to look far to see how far we as a society have fallen. And I take that as we are broken. Our world is so broken. I'll tell you how broken we are. The King of England, um, he he is supposed to be the example for the people. he is supposed to be their leader, as it were. It's not just, and yes, he's a figurehead these days because they have parliament and a prime minister, but for the most part, he still has authority, and it's royal family. Now, he did not make one mention of the upcoming Easter celebration this weekend.
No.
What he talked about instead was another culture's celebrations. Here's the dichotomy. Our president, those people who hate him, I will call him President Donald Trump, had a very, very Easter conversation, acknowledging God, acknowledging our Savior, acknowledging all of this and putting that first. Unlike the king, who is absolutely does not care. This kind of division alone can destroy us because we all are affected by how our leaders behave. Whether you're in Canada, the United States, England, Germany, wherever you come from, it does not matter. These are the adults in the room that act like little bratty bitches. It's the same thing with people that, I mean, the thing is, look, they literally have a term now for people who hate Trump. And now Elon Musk. It's called Trump derangement syndrome and Elon derangement syndrome. It's like, do you understand the psychosis that you must be in to think that your behavior is okay? Because it is not. But we live in a culture now where violence is normal. It is normalized. In fact, they did a study recently. I think it was something like 1,700 people were interviewed, and out of that, it's a small sample, but they said that all of them said that assassination was justified. And I believe it said under all circumstances.
Wow.
They've that CEO of, what was it, United Health Group or whatever it was that got killed.
Oh, the one
this is like a few months ago.
In the New York area?
Something like that. Yeah, and he was like walking and somebody came behind him and killed him.
Yeah.
And they've now martyred the killer. He's the hero because he killed somebody who was a greedy, selfish CEO. Elon Musk gets death threats all the time now. They're literally torching his dealerships. Well, and like, again, this ties into depression. Like, how fucked up have we gotten?
Yep.
We are, and again, everybody is affected by evil, which leads into depression, which leads into dark thoughts and dark minds, and it affects everybody. It's poison. You want to know who we should be going after? The people that fund this shit, that sow the actual chaos, because this does not happen organically. These are not organic things. These are people that are paid to riot. These are people that are paid to destroy. And there are a few philanthropists in our country that are funding it. And it is absolutely atrocious that we do not go after these poison pills, that they are not removed from our society. Some countries do what's called exiling. It's not deportation. It's literally get the fuck out of our country, never fucking come back again. You are done. I don't care if you're a U.S. citizen or not. You are, as far as I'm concerned, you do shit like this, you are stripped of anything as a U.S. citizen. Anything that makes you a U.S. citizen, you are stripped of. Because, again, you sow chaos like that. There is no freedom if only one side has the opinion that only matters. We are not capable of civilized conversation anymore. We're not. People are so unhinged. And again, how psychologically damaged are they?
Yeah.
I mean, it is sickening. And yes, I do blame teachers for the indoctrination where a lot of it started at. I blame a lot of the politicians in our country and in our world
Mm.
because they are why this happens. Yes, people make their own choices, but if you're influenced, that's a problem. And I'll give you another example for me. I started smoking when I was 13 years old
Okay.
because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be one of the cool kids.
Okay.
Look, my mom was a long-time smoker. I promised her I was never going to smoke, but I did because I wanted to fit in. And plus, who are my heroes? Musicians. Most all of them smoked because it was the cool thing to do. It wasn't about advertisements. It was literally about how fucking cool it looks having a cigarette draped out of your mouth or sitting on the freaking headstock of your guitar while you're jamming away. You know, to this day, the late Eddie Van Halen's guitar, his Frankenstrat, still has the burn marks from his cigarettes on the headstock. To me, that was like the epitome of cool. You know, now I only smoked for 10 years. I quit when I was 23.
Yeah.
But I also smoked because, I was depressed. I fucking hated life. I hated that I just did not belong anywhere. I didn't fit in. I was never going to be fucking military grade because I would have been in the stockade for telling this drill sergeant to go fucking shove a stick up his ass or shove a fucking, M8, just better yet, shove a grenade up your asshole. Fuck you. I would have been thrown out. I would have been dishonorably discharged and then dishonorably imprisoned in Leavenworth. I'm not kidding you. I would have been that guy. I'm a smart ass. I would have said, yeah, you drop and give me 20. No, I don't want blowjobs, you fag. I just would never have done that. Yes, I said it. Fuck you. It's a free country. But I would have said that.
I'm curious when Mikey is hearing this shit.
All he's thinking is maga, 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 maga. That's all he's.
Hey, Mikey.
But anyway. Well, his audio was really quiet when he first popped in because I thought I heard him talking, but I haven't.
I think he might still be on his phone.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. He's on his Tinder account right now. Or shouldn't that be called Tinder?
I thought it was only Michael.
Only Michaels.
Only Mike's.
Only Michaels. Only Michaels fans.
He's gonna shoot us later.
Oh yeah, he's preparing.
Next on Dazzo After Dark, you'll find 2 dead bodies.
Right on cue.
Oh, he was waiting for that. He was waiting for that perfect slang.
I was waiting for a moment to slide in.
Yep.
I was just sitting here the whole time.
So, how's things with you, Mikey?
Oh God. Well, the last couple of weeks, it's funny that you guys are talking about this because the last couple of weeks it's either work stuff has brought me down or I've been working or there's work events that, So yeah, I've either been working during the show, I've either been depressed during showtime, or work stuff has gotten me depressed to where I don't even want to show up. So that's what's been going on the last couple of weeks. So this is a funny topic. Well, yeah, because like I think it was 2 weeks ago at this point. 2 weeks ago, I was working a shift. I literally couldn't show up. Especially with the new security site that I have, it's way out in the mountains, and I get like a bar of service.
Ooh.
So yeah, can't exactly do that. Can't exactly not even show up on Discord. I know we're moving platforms, or whatever, but couldn't exactly even go on Discord because I tried that once. And I know I tried doing that once out there. It's where I kept disconnecting that one time.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I was way out there in the mountains with like 1 or 2 bars of service. But before that, I actually got myself fired from one job because what ended up happening was I put in a time request. I mean, obviously it was more than what I'm saying, but at the time the incident happened, the date the incident happened, I put in a time off request for a single day a month ago. Okay, because I was supposed to work 12 hours that day. Well, during
Okay.
those 12 hours, I had to take a exam for a government job. So I had to physically go to the city HR's office, and I had to go into the HR office, and I had to take a test. All right, so not gonna lie, I did abandon post. Basically, I did leave my security site during that time,
Mm-hmm.
and I took that exam. The only reason why I did that, I tell myself I'll never do certain things. It's something I feel bad for doing.
Right.
But look, I put in a time off request 4 weeks 4 weeks ago, 4 weeks before this incident happened, for the actual date. Okay. Why does it take you a month to find somebody to cover me?
Wow.
Out of
4 weeks
curiosity,
in
Why does it
advance.
take you?
are they understaffed by any chance?
No.
Oh,
We have the site pretty covered. I mean, it's like 6 people at most, but they have standby people.
sure.
They have other people. Is my
So
point.
they could have had somebody easily fill in for you
So
while you did your thing.
yeah, even if it was, hey, can you come in for 2 hours during his 12? Come in for 2 hours so he can actually go to the city and take the whatever the fuck. But no. So what ended up happening was, yes, I put in this time off request a month prior. Okay, this was a Monday. Well, I look on the schedule on Sunday night, and I'm going, fuck, I'm still fucking on the schedule. Now what the fuck do I do?
Right.
So yeah, I left. I left a security site during my shift. I went and did what I had to do. But here's the kicker. Then as I'm driving back, I go and I'm checking my email, and I'm going, oh my fucking god, it's day one of this site out in the mountains. Shit. The director's going to be there. The vice president of the whole damn state of Nevada is going to be there for the security company. The security VP is going to be there. All of the big wigs, all of my chain of command are going to be at the security site because it's day fucking one of his property.
Mm.
They haven't even been to the property yet. This was us driving the property, learning it all together.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, so I have a difficult choice to make. I'm driving back to my security site from my city exam.
Mm-hmm.
I either leave again to go to the mountains, or I basically get fired from the job out in the mountains before I even start it. So another difficult decision. I got in a uniform and I went out into the mountains.
Yep.
Weeks go by. Actually, not even weeks go by. That day, as I'm out there in the mountains, it was, did you leave post, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, I left post, blah, blah, blah. Okay. You're suspended. Fine. But you see, me being me, I made those difficult decisions. I knew what could happen. I was like, fuck it. I made choices because y'all backed me into a corner. I gave you more than enough advance notice.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all backed me into a corner. I made choices. Now, flash forward, the CEO of that company has basically been holding a grudge against me. It's gotten to the point to where he was on my LinkedIn profile, calling me out in my own comments on my own page. Comments that obviously I deleted very fast because you're on my page, dude. Of course I'm gonna fucking like, hello.
Yeah.
But he called me out in comments. Then he goes in this Facebook group of like 16,000 security professionals. This Facebook group where hiring managers and other security directors are. He goes in this group, makes a post about me. I'm like, oh fuck you, no you don't. So I go in the group, I explain my side of the story.
Yep.
I get banned.
Wow.
I get banned. The Facebook admin, which by the way, the Facebook admin of this group is the owner of a bodyguarding school that I had just taken a class here in Vegas. Okay, but not only does he ban me, but when he bans me, he scrubs the comments. So my side of the story goes unheard. I can't even defend myself in that post anymore. He removed me outright.
Wow.
So I literally got silenced in that Facebook group. Now Now, if anybody pulls my name up in that Facebook group, any vice president, any hiring director, any security staff,
Yeah.
if any of these bigwigs in any security company go in that group and they pull my name up, that's all they're going to see. Is my CEO, the CEO that terminated me, all they're going to see is his side of the story. So I got pretty pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still down in the tubes the fact that I did it to begin with, because the COO, the operations officer, and the CEO, there were two people that I looked up to for a good while. Like, I actually wanted to learn from them.
Right.
But on the token, flash forward to right now, this second, I don't respect those motherfuckers anymore.
No.
Because they've held this grudge. They've dragged my name through the mud. Now I can't even do bodyguarding. I was all over my Instagram, excited to get into. I mean, I'm having to choose words here, but in security, we call it executive protection. Well, it boils down to bodyguarding. But anyways, I digress. It's concealed carry type security. For the longest time, I was on Instagram talking about it, how I was so excited to get into EP and blah, blah, blah. Well, let me put it to you this way. This CEO has dragged my name through the mud so much. Now I have to put that dream on hold.
You do know you have grounds for a lawsuit,
I will
right?
probably have. Oh, I know.
You could sue
I
them.
have to put that dream on hold for at least 5 years now, because that CEO has dragged my name through the mud and basically has tarnished my reputation before I even had a chance to establish my own fucking reputation.
Yeah, that
nobody
is
outside of Nevada knows me.
Law. That is absolutely grounds for a lawsuit.
Nobody outside of Nevada knows me. Nobody outside of Nevada knows, my bodyguarding skills. Nobody outside of Nevada has ever worked with me. But this CEO, this guy went into this 16,000 member fucking Facebook group and fucking dragged me down. I'm fucked. Nobody's gonna fucking hire me now.
I would
so
say
that dream has to be put on hold.
I would fight this. I would go after them legally and take their asses to court. Find yourself a good lawyer who can fight for you, because this is bullshit. This is predatory. This is illegal. And what kind of a fucking, I mean, this is a goddamn adult doing this kind of childish bullshit. No, dude, get pissed. Say, fuck you. You're not ruining my reputation. I will fucking sue you for slander, for fucking anything that degrades me. You pile of shit. You are fucking done. And watch how fast you get the actions, because right now, this would be the time to do it. Don't put up with bullshit like this. That is a fucking bully. That is a grown fucking bully. I don't give a damn. I would love to get that person's number and fucking ream his asshole till it's fucking so bloodied he can't sit down for fucking eternity. Like, even the devil would be like, dude, I can't even cook your ass because it's already been done. Seriously, Mike. I mean, I'm not kidding you, dude. Get pissed.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, I get that this really fucks you up right now. I totally get it, but you have legal recourse.
Yep.
You can sue his fucking ass into oblivion. Hit him with like a $10 million lawsuit for defamation.
Yeah.
You could. I bet you could win. You may not get the $10 million, but you could get that shit wiped off and get your reputation cleared. You know.
Looks like Mikey went off.
Did he drop?
I think he might have dropped.
Oh, damn.
Nope. I think he might have hit a wrong button.
Well, damn. All my freaking impassioned moments have now just
Firefox took a shit.
I was gonna say, did you even hear anything I said or not?
I was hearing it, but it was like robot and it was staticky and whatnot. I know I got legal grounds. I was able to piece that together.
Like I said,
I know what you were saying.
His ass into oblivion.
Yeah, I've been told I've got legal grounds, but it's going to be more money than it's worth. So I've just kind of given up on it.
Remember, a lawyer does not collect unless you win.
That's basically what's been going on with me on why I haven't been showing up. It's work stuff.
Dude, we understand.
Work Oh, I know, but we're talking about depression and sadness when on this episode. That's basically what's been going on with me. It's either work stuff has dragged me down, or I've actively been working during the show. So, and again, I kind of can't go. I can't kind of come on Discord with one bar of service. We all saw that.
Oh no, dude, no. I mean, I thought my internet was bad. You got me beat, boy. You got me beat.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, so I've been really bummed out for the last. I mean, shit. It was like March 17th. I remember the exact date, the Monday it happened. It's been almost a month since the actual incident happened, and like this guy has fucked me. This guy has tarnished my reputation before I had the chance to develop it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having to put that EP security dream on hold for at least a couple of years. And that in of itself bums me out even further.
I'm kind of a person who believes in a little bit of eye for an eye. You ever thought about retaliation, like destroying his reputation? Like, do you have dirt on this guy?
No, that's the thing.
Oh, damn. I was going to say, if you have some like juicy bullshit about this guy, like some affair that he had with like one of his...
oh, jeez.
I mean, no, seriously.
Yeah,
like, that's,
I get it.
I mean, dude, you could fucking wreck him.
I get it.
I mean, yeah, that's probably not the best thing to do in the world, but honestly, just saying.
Yeah, I don't got shit on him. But yeah, so that's what's been going on with me in life recently. And I've just been like I deactivated my LinkedIn, okay? Because he when he went into the Facebook group, he told everybody, go look at his LinkedIn, go see for yourself. Go see all the crap he's talking about security companies on LinkedIn. So I even fucking deactivated my LinkedIn. I'm more or less in hiding right now.
And that suck, honestly. Like that you have to resort to that because some asshole bully is like this. Because that's what this is. This is literally a fucking kindergartner who thinks he's an adult doing this.
Exactly. This is a dude who's holding a grudge. This is a dude who's holding a grudge who has tarnished my name before I had the chance to even establish myself, establish my name.
Yep.
So yeah, no, he fucked me. And it's funny that he talks all this bullshit about like professionalism and integrity and this and that. Yeah, I'm like, you might want to look in the fucking mirror, dude. You might want to look in the fucking mirror, because I left a site unmanned during a shift. Mm-hmm. I will 1,000% own that. Yes, I left something unmanned, but you backed me into a corner and you basically made me make a choice.
Yep. But somebody who would
don't sit here and hold a fucking grudge against me.
What's that?
Yeah, don't sit here and hold a fucking grudge against me when I gave you more than enough time to find somebody, but oh no, my request is going to go on deaf ears. Well, I had choices to make that day, okay?
Sounds a lot like the Democrat Party.
I will always, in conversation, I will always own the fact that I left that security site.
Sure.
Okay? I will own that.
Of course.
But I
left that man pill and fucking totally understand that. But what he did is what a petulant child does.
Exactly.
What this guy
did. I did X because you did X. You put me into a corner. You made me do that.
Yep.
Wow, man.
I was backed into a corner and I had choices to make.
I would just tell that guy, go stand in the corner and suck your thumb. Think about what you did wrong. Oh, but before you suck your thumb, make sure you shove it up your ass and then get that nice little, dingleberry on it. And then suck your thumb.
Yeah.
Because all your mouth is full of his shit anyway.
But yeah, that's what's got me so down lately. It's like this guy fucked me before I had a chance to make myself known.
No, I get.
And you want to talk about professionalism and integrity and this and that. Bitch, look in the fucking mirror.
Yep.
You caused me to leave that site, okay? You backed me into a corner because of things your company did not do. Your company did not find coverage.
Yep.
It caused me to do X. Cause and
Yep.
effect. Simple cause and effect.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I would.
So
honestly, I would just say, you know, I almost would think that you should just be laughing your ass off at what a petulant little bitch this guy is. Seriously, I mean, that's a great laugh. Yes, and I'm not laughing at what the circumstances is because you got fucked in the ass for big time, which is bullshit. But this guy, I mean, this guy's probably what, in his 50s or 60s, and he's acting like a petulant little fucking child. That says a lot more about him. Yeah, you left your post. Okay, but you had something to do. You already gave notice that you had to do a thing that was very important to the future of your career. You know? And this anal dwelling butt monkey to say, well, you took off and did your post. I'm going to hold a grudge against you because I'm a petulant little child. That's literally all it is. And I actually would you should get a good laugh out of it because you realize this is an adult that did this. This is a fucking adult that did this. You did the right thing by doing what you were supposed to do. You did the right thing by sending your notification that, hey, I got to do this. I got to be responsible. I got to make sure my future is set up. You know? Yeah, I get it. I left my post. Okay, I own that. I took my man pill. Deal with it. Okay? But going up there and blasting me online, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, you want to fucking psychologically damage me even more? Is that what you want to fucking do, you petulant little bitch? Fuck you. Yeah. Man, I swear to God, people are just assholes in this world. They don't fucking care.
Nope.
So, but no, Mikey, seriously, just have a good laugh at the adult in the room that just does this. This is what children do. And this man is literally a man-child. You know what you should do? Send him a box of Depends. Send him a box of Depends. No, better yet, send him a pack of either Huggies or Pampers. And have the card say, for the petulant little child that you are. I'm just saying. It's a clean, wonderful little thing.
I've thought about it.
Or something to that effect, you know? I mean, the banana up the tailpipe would be kind of funny too, you know? I mean, Axel Foley got away with it. So, but no, I mean, and that's the thing too, like you said, I mean, it really drug you down. It like just absolutely just demoralized you. And I think that's what this guy's intent was to demoralize you. It wasn't about like, you know, let's make Mikey feel good. No. Let's not talk about this like real men. Let's not like address this issue. No, we're just going to be petulant little bitches and saying, I'm just going to do this.
And the thing about it was, I have LinkedIn DMs from him telling me he's sorry he had to like let me go. He's sorry he had to term me, but I do belong in this industry.
Wow.
Wait, now was that before or after he went on that group?
Exactly, but that was before the whole thing happened. So yeah, he DMs me that, and then within like a day or two later, he calls me out on my own LinkedIn profile. I delete the comments, and then he goes in this Facebook group, and yeah, then I go, oh no, the fuck you don't. So then I went in the group, explained my side, and yeah, blah blah blah,
and it got banned.
And now apparently, he's going to go to the state security board. He's going to get my license revoked, blah, 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 blah. Like all this crap.
Wow.
Don't you just love how illegal aliens get treated better than we do?
I know, right?
I'm just putting that out there. They get better treatment.
Yeah, because I went in that Facebook group right before I got banned, and he keeps saying like, all I'm legally allowed to say is blah. All I'm legally allowed to do is blah. Which tells me he's probably going to go to the state and try to fuck me through the state, try to get my security license revoked or whatever. So I'm like, you fucking...
Yeah, but dude, yeah, he would have a massive lawsuit on his head then at that point. You know,
well, they're not going to do shit about it to begin with. I already know the state security board won't do shit about it because I really hate to talk like this, but it's just like, what do you want them to do? They're not going to revoke somebody's entire license to work because they left a site.
Yeah, even
And the
they
fact
know
that
how.
you had,
They're
even
they're
though
they're
you
just
had a note,
they're just not. That's not
Yeah.
that's not going to be something to where they're going to remove my entire license to work. That's not something they're going to do.
And you haven't done
So,
anything
like,
criminal.
okay,
So
Exactly.
then what other recourse do they have?
maybe at
They
best
might be able to find me.
suspend
No.
you. Maybe at best.
No,
No.
no,
But even
because
then, they have no fucking grounds.
right, they can't suspend me. They can't revoke the whole damn thing. Now they might be the state security board. The security board might be able to fine me. That's fine. I'll take a fine if it does go that far. Big if to begin with.
Yeah,
Because you have to realize. This is the state of Nevada. And the state security board in general has 12. I will restate that for emphasis. 12. They have a dozen investigators at most to investigate everything that happens in the entire state of Nevada. All the security companies and all of the individual security guards, they have a dozen people at most to look through the
Out of
complaints.
curiosity, how much of that is tax funded? Because that would be a waste of taxpayer money to go after you over something like this.
That's exactly where I'm going with that. That would give you the end result.
That would be an absolute
little old me.
Money.
Yeah. Site, oh fucking who? You really think they're gonna find me? Because I know they're not. I know this is not what's the word? This is not bad enough to even suspend my license for say 2 weeks or whatever. It certainly is all fuck not enough to revoke it.
No, because you haven't done anything wrong.
What is they gonna do? And this is why I'm laughing at him when he's in that Facebook room saying, "Oh, I'm legally allowed to say it's blah." I'm like, the fucking state's not gonna do shit.
Yep. Honestly, I think it's literally a scare tactic, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
It's to make you submit like a little lapdog. Say, "I'm sorry, let me suck your cock."
Yeah.
Peanut butter on it. I mean, that's legitimately what.
And you see, that's truthfully why. That's truthfully why I've wanted to leave security for a good while now.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this shit.
The thing is, though,
because it's all it's ever been.
I mean, the thing is, you're probably good at what you do.
He is.
Oh yeah, no, I am.
So I mean, to say, well, I want to leave security, it's like, yeah, but you're good at what you do. I mean, you spent your entire adult life, wanting to do this type of work, and clearly you suit up, you pack the heat and all that shit, and you're ready to take down the bad guys or whatever it is. I mean, you're not a fucking mall cop on a Segway.
I was going to ask you this behind the scenes, but did you try to get hired to do the WrestleMania event down in Vegas?
You so did.
It's just nonsense that comes with command staff and this and that.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Because I know WrestleMania is gonna be big down in Vegas.
It always is.
Yep.
The if this is WrestleMania, yeah, that'll be a sellout.
Yeah. And I know they need fucking people down there.
Vegas always needs. I mean, it's a fucking gambling capital. Yeah. What the fuck you gonna? I mean, fuck Atlantic City, man. You got fucking Vegas, man.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not mob run anymore. At least, okay. Mob is a loose term. I shouldn't say that because it is government. It is government, but back in the day, it was definitely mob run.
It's okay.
So anyway, we got a little bit off the rails with this one, but no, Mikey.
I think we were right on.
No. What I meant was like we stepped away from the depression side of it and got more like the anger side. But then again, they probably are related. Like depression leads to anger. Yeah, it's related. Yeah, it's very true. And it's look, to me, it's like it's like that's why that term FAFO exists.
Fuck
you
around
know,
and find out.
there's legal ramifications for what this person did. Not only that, but the psychological damage this has done to Mikey. I mean,
Yeah.
that's even more. I mean, we're talking punitive now.
Yep.
I mean, you can literally wipe this guy's company up with a fucking napkin for what he could get sued for.
Yep.
I'm just saying, you probably could even obliterate the company and just say, fuck you, you're done. But, but yeah, the psychological, the warfare that this guy just committed against you, Mikey, is atrocious. I mean, you know, I had a boss like that too. It was like, you know, but he was like literally small man syndrome. You know, this guy wanted to make himself feel big, and you know, the guy was like short as fuck compared to me. And he had this attitude of like, you know, and he wasn't able to. He actually got promoted to the manager because the original manager had retired, and so he was made manager, and he became the biggest asshole in the world. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck, you know? And I'm sitting here trying to do my job, and then just fucking every day was so demoralizing working at that place. And this was when I worked at Ford, when I worked IT at Ford, and it was just like so demoralizing, you know.
Lord.
Found on fucking road dead, fixed or repaired daily, or fucked over rebuilt Dodge. Take your pick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not a Ford fan. After my Crown Victoria caught fire, I am not a Ford fan. I lost my Vicky, and I was very sad.
Rip.
Dude, I even made a video of it. It's on my YouTube channel. The day my car died. The day my car died. I remember Jeffrey Gamer was like, "What the hell happened?" I'm like, "My car caught fire." I never did. I think it never was engulfed, but it could. The sad thing is, if my car had gotten engulfed, it would have exploded because it was a full tank of gas.
No.
I literally just filled the tank up.
No shit.
Yep. I had just filled up my tank, and I was like, you know, whatever. But there's something that actually depressed me, because that was my cruiser, man. I actually had a P-71 police cruiser. You know, I was retired, and the fucking thing caught fire. In fact, the freaking sheriff that came out to talk to me about it, he's like, I have never seen one of our cars ever catch fire like this. Like, well, yeah, it did. We never did. I never had an investigator look and see what caused it. I mean, it was electrical, but still, it sucked.
Rip.
You know. But no, I know one of the stories that Mikey had talked about a couple of years ago was, you know, when his this was about your apartment or your place burning down, right?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I don't know if he's still there or not. He may have left. No. Oh, there he is. But yeah, you know, that was I mean, because that I remember like hearing about that, just the devastation was real. Like it's
2022, right before I left for Utah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. And you're just like, I mean, that's fucked up to deal with. I mean, that alone would fuck
year
me up.
was fucked.
Yeah, and I had just met you. I'm like, dude, and that's like one of the first stories I hear about you, Mike. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Man.
Like, yeah, that was sad.
I mean, Mikey's
you should have seen the reaction. Yeah, you should have seen the reaction my neighbors had when they heard all the ammo.
Yeah.
Because apparently the firefighters didn't even realize it was ammo in there. The firefighters were actively in there in the unit doing fire. As soon as I heard bullets, they're like, nope, back the fuck up. Everybody out.
Yeah,
They were in there when the round. They were in there when the ammo finally started going off, and all the firefighters noped the fuck out. They're like, back the fuck up.
Yeah. I will nope that way all the fuck you will. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Mikey's entire security freaking career has technically been documented on the channel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we've heard crazy shit over the years.
Dude, I will say this again and again and again. You can't be depressed when you hear how much he dressed down this one ossifermer who thought he could dish it out. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, in case anybody is just joining up on the live stream, uh, we got Mikey up in the house as well tonight. And yeah, Mikey's whole entire security career, ever since I met him,
Just,
has
yep.
technically been on the channel.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
We
much. Just some of the
fucking
calls come through, some of the crazy shit comes through, and it's
oh yeah,
quite fascinating actually.
yeah.
You cannot not respect this guy for what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. You gotta fucking give the guy props for what he does, because not everybody can do it. You know,
Yeah,
street issued soldier. Just saying.
it's crazy.
Yeah, no shit, right? You know, it's going back to you know, things like, you know, the mood swings or whatever that we all are dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how many people love to instigate that. Like they like to
Yeah.
just they once they find out that somebody is a little bit weaker than they are, it all
Yeah.
becomes about Darwinism. It all becomes about survival of the fittest. It's like, hey, can we push you to your limits?
And it's
And
funny you
then
mentioned that because he literally did say, like, right before all this shit started going down, he literally did say, like, I wear my heart on my sleeve, blah blah.
yeah,
Oh, typical guys.
yeah, and I shit standing up, right? So yeah, I don't believe that for a second. This guy is just absolutely unprofessional, and it just tells you like where his mind is, you know. But the the thing about people like this, because that leads me to the other thing, is literally the
Yep.
bully, and it's not just children, it is adults, because children learn it from adults. If you are a parent that bullied people, you will have kids that will bully, without a doubt, because you have not instilled a moral compass. Now, if you were once one and you reformed, repented, you know, things like that, and you cleaned your ass up, fine.
Yep.
But the simple fact is that is not always the case. The parents that are bullies usually have kids that do it, and it's a vicious cycle, because where does that ever end? Because their kids become that, you know, and you know, we haven't even touched on the subject of divorce and how much that can psychologically damage a kid.
Technically,
You know,
anything and everything can lead to depression.
yeah, it almost anything can, you know, and
Absolutely
people that
anything.
used to be
Anything can.
happy. I mean, my fiance was telling me like when she was growing up, she was the happiest kid, even though she didn't have a great home life because of her dad. She was a very happy kid, and then life beat the hell out of her, and it went completely sideways. I mean, now she, like, when sometimes when we're talking, like, she will rage in some things, like not like I do, but I can tell she gets really pissed off because she tries so hard to actually, you know, just do the things that she has to do, but there are things that really do not sit well with her, and you know, and she was always somebody who just kind of stood in the background, like she never wanted to be noticed because of her shyness, and
Mm.
I wanted to be noticed. I mean, I didn't do music not to be noticed. I didn't do theater not to be noticed. I didn't do, you know, choir or whatever not to be noticed. I was a fucking whore for attention, and I make no apologies about that. I do a podcast. I do a podcast because I like the attention, you know. And if I could stream on YouTube, I would fucking do it because I love the attention.
Mm.
But the thing
But
is,
unfortunately,
what's unfortunate is the fact that I take things so damn personal.
yeah,
When it
it
comes to
happens.
bullying, I mean, look, I know we could always talk about how much shit we give Atlas, but honestly, we don't do this out of maliciousness. We're just you know we are just teasing and just kidding around. We don't hate the kid or anything like that. We just give him shit. You know,
Exactly.
it's what guys do. Guys give each other shit. You know, and
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes you know, if I give Mikey shit, I do sometimes wonder if I will get a glockenspiel in the face. I don't really know. But it is sad, like when you see these people that just love to bully and torment. I mean, it's worse on social media. Like social media is absolutely the most atrocious thing that's ever been invented. I mean, what people say in text, would you say that in real life to somebody? Would you actually step up, own up, and say it to my face? Because I bet you they wouldn't.
Depending.
Because people can hide behind a screen.
Yep.
You know, and it's
People
so funny when these fucking politicians come out and say we want to remove anonymity from the internet because we want to know who you are. If you're saying shit, I'm like, yeah, fuck you. But if you are that type of person that just uses social media, I mean, people have literally committed suicide because they've been pushed around. I mean, kids have committed suicide because they were bullied.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that caused it, if they don't have any remorse, then they are legitimate monsters, and they should just be they should be alienated out of society. Like, you just go live in that corner forever and do not even associate with the rest of us because you are scum. And it is sick to think that we live in such a society where adults in the room will even do this.
Yep.
In fact, I'm going to tell this story. In Colorado right now is trying to pass a law that will take away a parent's child forcibly and jail the parent if they do not affirm this child's gender. Meaning, if this kid becomes trans because of the indoctrination, the parents will be jailed. What fucking country do we live in? What fucking country is this? How is that not a level of satanic worship and just evil? Yep. Who the fuck does that except for the adults in the room who think they know better than anybody else? Are you fucking kidding me? Those are the people that do not deserve any kind of freedom. These are the people that need to be jailed with never a chance to be paroled, ever.
Yep.
In fact, cast them down with the sodomites. Cast them down with those who are evil like that. Because they will fit right in. That is a level of evil. And what pisses me off is that the fact that nobody's even talking about this other than like a few profiles, not profiles, but a few outlets are. Mm-hmm. But like the church is not condemning this. There's an organization called Focus on the Family, which is a very religious entity. Very, very large. And they have said nothing about this. This is where they're based out of, is Colorado. They're based out of Colorado right now. I don't remember when they moved there, but I forget where they moved from. My dad told me this last night. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with these people? They just, I don't care. I mean, to do nothing is an act of, if you stay silent about this, then you never deserve any kind of reputation whatsoever. You're just done. Remember, there was a time when children were off limits. Remember that?
Yep.
You fuck with kids, your life is fucked.
Yep.
Pepperidge Farm. I'm sorry.
I didn't even hear what he said, but I'm glad I didn't. Anyway, just based on
the Pepperidge Farm thing.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a point for that one because that's just, I mean, good on you, dude. Good on you.
Anyways, as you were saying, I cut you off.
No, that's fine. I'm in the presence of greatness. I'm sorry. I am not worthy. But I mean, things like that. It's like these people are so demonically possessed. It's just unbelievable. And in Kansas, for example, like what was it, like a month ago, they were saying, "Oh yeah, this satanic group can't be in here," and this same satanic group literally dedicated the entire state to the fucking Satan. Are you kidding me? This is where we are at, and you wonder why people have mental health issues. Like I talked about, Trump derangement syndrome, Elon derangement syndrome, all because we're trying to fucking save a buck. We're trying to kick out people that are literally murdering and raping our fucking own citizens. Are you fucking kidding me? And you defend that because we're sanctuary. No, fuck you. Every sanctuary city should be removed from the union. Fuck them. Even my state should be removed from the fucking union. That's it. I mean, literally, we are almost literally at one of the biggest great divides now in our nation. It is possible. It is possible that America will not be the land of 50 states. It will be divided by political viewpoints. There will not be 50 states. It'll be like this. These group of states here are one country. These group of states are another country. It will be the great divide. You know, and you know who loves this?
Trump.
The very, very wealthy billionaires who love this. The biggest bullies of them all. Let me ask you, did you guys feel bullied by your own governments when they locked you down during COVID? Did you feel bullied by them?
I didn't care.
You should.
I didn't care.
Because they literally stepped on your right to not inject a poison into your body.
I didn't care.
Well, I did. Maybe, and that's just, if you didn't care, well, I kind of feel bad because honestly, the Geneva Convention was created to prevent shit like that from happening. In other words, you could not be compelled to be forcibly injected with anything. COVID broke that rule. The Geneva Convention doesn't stop at the end of a war. The Geneva Convention prevents this kind of shit from happening. It all stems from fucking the time of the Nazis, what they did to people. We're literally back at that time. And you wonder, again, why is depression all a thing? Because we're seeing the world fall apart and we don't know how to fucking handle it. People, dude, we are so fucked up. When the adults in the room shit on Mikey because he left his post for a little bit to go do a fucking adult thing, and then trash him, like say one thing out of his ass and say, oh yeah, I'm really a person that wears my heart on my sleeve, or I'm just a good guy, I'm really sorry about this whole thing, and then goes on to a fucking social media site and acts like a douchebag.
Yeah.
Or Dazzo trying to do his fucking job at work and being bombarded by a bunch of bullshit from a guy who does not fucking know his head from a hole in the ground. Oh, go do this, go engineer this, because I need this to fucking work. Go fucking build a radar dish and have it stuck out of my ass because, Cartman, I mean, we are, to quote a former staff sergeant, he always said, we are evil, hairless monkeys. That's what we are. That's what we have devolved into. Evil, hairless monkeys. And I guess maybe, and when I get some shit for playing that game I play all the time, no, seriously, that is like when I just shut my brain down and I just say, fuck it, fuck this bullshit. I just want to fucking do this and not even fucking think about the rest of the world because,
I still need a computer for Wormworld.
I should have made a bet. I should have made a bet with Dazz to ask him, how long is it going to be before Mikey says, I miss playing RimWorld or something RimWorld? Because that bitch would owe me some money. But I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I could probably retire at this point.
Retire at young age. If you won the lotto, yeah, you would retire.
I'll be honest, man. If I ever won the lottery, I do not know what I would do with the money. Honestly,
Buy
I really
a
do not.
house.
Nope. I wouldn't.
No.
Nope. Because the thing about that is that's what people do, and then they use more because they want their dream house.
Well,
and
here's the thing.
they overspend, and then they realize, oh yeah, you got to buy the property too, so you got to pay the tax on that. You got to you actually have to pay the bills to make that fucking house work, dude. People are poor. It says, the lottery ruined my life. That is literally a reality show because people pissed away their money. So I don't know what I would do with mine. I would probably give it away like to some of my like my brother, and his wife, and my dad, obviously.
Yeah.
I would probably use it to, to maybe fund my wedding, but you never know.
So hold on. If you want a fucking, I don't know, say $20 million lottery, how's the expense on your wedding? How big of it?
We actually, my fiance and I are pretty frugal.
Mm-hmm.
We know where to, even if we had the money, we would
Yeah.
still not have. We would still have a very simple wedding. It would not be chaotic.
Okay.
Most of our family are dying. No, dude. The reason why is because most of our family are dying.
Yeah.
We don't have family to attend, and
Of course.
that's a huge thing,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
it only gets worse as time goes on.
I get that.
She is a huge fan of the movie Still Magnolias, the original one from '89, and
Mhm.
she always wanted the wedding that Shelby had, which was what was the actress's name? I forget. But she always wanted that one. But I was like,
Okay.
you do realize that we are not rich. You do realize that we do not have anywhere near that. But she wanted a big, fantastic wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I get that, but I'm a dude. So I mean, look, if 5 people showed up, I'm okay with that, but I understand it's not just about me. But no,
Yeah.
we've talked about, we've talked about maybe just having like a few people just show up and, doing like very simple foods. What kills you is the catering. But if,
No.
and actually I'll take
More
it
or
one
less.
step further. Okay. So I used to play Publishers Clearinghouse, and every so often they would have like win $5,000 a week for life,
Yep.
which adds up to $50 million.
Until the day you die.
Basically, because that's to them is lifetime.
Yeah.
And if I had a $5,000 payout, and remember, you're in a different tax bracket too.
Yep.
You're in a different tax bracket when
Yep.
you get that kind of money. And you have, I think you lose like, what do you have to pay the government? Like 30% of that to government because
I
taxes,
think
because theft,
so.
because I'm sorry, taxes are theft. The government makes no money. They steal from
Yep.
the citizens. Period.
Yep.
Suck a dick. Anyway,
Anyway.
so if I had that kind of money, I don't know. I probably would be like, okay, I'm gonna go see a concert because I want to see the Warning. I want to go see
Okay.
them.
Okay.
At least get decent seats. Maybe do the meet and greet. I will actually pay to do the. I will do a fucking like a golden ticket fucking meet and greet. Then obviously I will take my fiance out for a nice dinner at her favorite restaurant, which is either typically Red Lobster or Olive Garden, which Olive Garden is not real Italian food, but she loves it.
Classic Olive Garden.
I'll be honest. If you've had like real Italian food, you know that Olive Garden is not Italian.
No, of course.
None of it is.
Of course.
But you become accustomed to that
Yeah.
because food is pretty good, but it's also very high in salt. Probably would I've already got her, like she's already got her rings. I already got her the ring. So I already put a ring on it, bitch. I've already put a ring on it. So fuck you out there who say, did you put a ring on it? Yeah, I did. 3 times. I have 3 different rings. A shitty one that I got that came with the engagement ring, which was really nice, but they gave me like this little Cracker Jack ring. I don't know why. It's like a little diamond chip. That is not a wedding band. That's an insult to my wedding band. So I actually bought her a better one. So, but then we found out the one ring actually it was actually in the shape of a crown.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just realized this. How are we going to have this soldered together? Because it's got diamonds on the backside. It's like, well, what do you do? So, because usually once you get married, the wedding band goes on front, and you got to solder it. And unfortunately, there's diamonds on that side. So, anyway,
did you say the one ring?
Well, the other ring is the suffering.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah, I said it. Oh, she's heard that joke before too, so
Wow.
There's the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering. That's the 3 rings of life. Yep. Well, if there's a fourth ring, it's the Ring of Fire. But if you got Ring of Fire, you better go see the doctor because your ass is about to explode. Too much Taco Bell. So, by the way, the reason why we're cutting jokes right now is because this is partly healthy for fighting depression. It's literally
Plus,
just laughing.
This is 1K frequency.
Maga, 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 maga.
Good plum.
No, I just no. 1 Kiflam frequency. I was so hoping that would be available for us just merchandise, but we can't, sadly. We
You do not know the way of the Kiflam.
No, Rockstar would come after our asses.
Yeah, fuck you, Rockstar.
You do not know the way of the Kiflam with my bright blue bicycle that blinded Ray.
Oh my god!
I can imagine him coming. Let me ask you, what road were you on when you did that? When you did that, I'm curious. Where were you?
Oh god!
Were you in the city or were you out in the county?
County. I think.
It was Blaine. We were out in the desert. I think
Route 68. If I mistaken.
See, now if
like
he was
in
if
between,
he was
it was like
music,
half Blaine, half fucking
I think it was Route 68 near the
Isn't that
I just remember y'all leaving a gas station. Then you guys were like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, so that would be the one. That's the one that's just outside of the sheriff station. It's the next one, off 68, I think. Yeah,
maybe.
I would expect him to actually like launching himself off the big freaking sand dunes, up there and just saying Kiflam.
Oh, I was.
Like imagining he was in ET.
Oh god.
Yeah, but it was just funny because Ray, I think was doing a ride along or some shit. Ray was training somebody, and then all they see is just because I remember like watching it on Ray's Twitch or whatever. Ray's screen was just blue, and they were like, "What the fuck is that?"
Is that recorded?
And all you hear is me zipping by, just going Kiflam.
That's on one of my live.
Yeah, it was one of his lives.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Yeah, see.
Yeah, but that's all you see is just a bright Ray's screen's just fucking blue, and then all you hear is just me going Kiflam, and then I speed off.
Man,
it's probably one of my.
I'm curious. Where did you finally get caught at? Like, how far did you make it before they actually finally put cuffs on you?
Oh, they never did.
Nah, you eluded. Nice.
I was like the subject of an investigation or some shit, but they never like actually like got me.
Wow. The only thing is, it's easier to hide in the city because there's just so many places you can go. The county is a little bit hard. The county's harder. I mean, if you can camouflage yourself in a freaking bush, which I've seen people do. Like I've seen Fabiano do that. Like he would actually just literally start a campfire inside of a bush just to get the attention of the fire department. He's like right across the street from the fire department, lighting a bush on fire. And yeah, his character was like I think his character was an arsonist.
Oh god.
And I think he started like 4 fires before he was finally caught in Blaine County. And it was like, it was just beyond like right where the freeway splits. Like I think before you get to Utool, it's like right in that little area. Like he would set fires right there, and then they set the fire out, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got a fire out here," and he would do it again. Like 2 minutes later, he'd do it again. Fire. It was hysterical.
Fire,
yeah, fire. So, but Kiflam, God. I'm not sure what's funnier. Mikey saying Kiflam or maga 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 maga. I don't know what's funnier, honestly. They're both hilarious. Every time I hear maga maga maga, I'm thinking Pac-Man. Maga 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 maga. That's all I'm hearing.
Exactly. That's all what it is.
Yeah. In fact, it almost makes that sound. Maga 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 maga.
Yep.
So, but and again, you have to lighten the mood sometimes because some of these topics we talk about get so damn depressing.
It does.
It's like you just gotta Kiflam it up and just say, fuck it,
Yeah. That's why we're on 1K frequency.
Exactly. By the way, I didn't say anything about this, but you know what, folks? While we take a little bit of a break here and talk a little bit about some 1K frequency merchandise that you can now
Ah,
that you can now own.
Mike still
And
has to pre-order his.
I still have to edit mine.
It's not a pre-order so much anymore. But yeah, I still have to order my shit.
Yep. I gotta freaking edit mine, and we were supposed to do that last Saturday, and we just never did. It's so funny. Well, because I was not expecting you to be working on a Saturday, so I'm like, well, fuck, there goes that plan. Because by the time you get home, your ass is just dead tired, and you're like, well,
I was dead tired.
well, fuck it, give me the damn account number. I'll go log into it and do it myself. Damn it. I get a better eye for design anyway, asshole. But no, but yeah, go check out the 1K frequency merch at the Dazzo Nation store. It's linked in the description on probably YouTube at some point in time.
Yep.
And it's probably going to be linked to in fact, the traffic should be driven to your website. So if you got a link to on your website, you should probably promote that so your channel so you're not just getting traffic on there, but you're getting traffic to the website. I'm just saying. And you can get like t-shirts, and you can get the awesome snapback hat with the 1K frequency Dazzo Nation logo. You know, it's yeah. Check out that sweet frequency with the big K in front of it. Designed by yours truly. What it would be awesome though is to have like a burple on that thing.
Purple?
I need a burple version of that.
Purple
and purple
we'll
color.
to,
because it's
we'll
not
have to,
if it's embroidered, if I could get it in an embroidery, I already know what color I can use.
Oh God.
I think it would look cool, man. I think it would look cool.
We'll
So-
have to talk to the designer back behind the store.
Yeah, exactly. So go check out the merch. And
20% off.
nice. You ain't gonna find that deal anywhere else except for 1K frequency.
Go get your merch.
Exactly. Go get your merch today because you need it. You don't know how badly you need it until you need it. I'm just saying. And remember, if you're wearing, the one thing is that we can't make a guarantee of this, but hey, guess what? You may actually be less depressed if you're wearing a 1K frequency hat. It may block the depression.
There you go.
Clearly, we are doctors and we understand the prescription.
Yeah.
And usually that prescription is more cowbell.
No, it's a prescription of laughter.
Well-
Laughter cures everything.
Disclaimer: Dazzo Nation
No.
are not lawyers.
So if I were to rip ass and fart right into my microphone and make you guys laugh, would that be laughter is the best medicine?
Anything is laughter. Is medicine.
Except my microphone would smell like my ass. So that would suck.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Insert biological warfare here. Hey, what was that about the Geneva Convention a while back?
Yeah, no shit, right? Yep, exactly.
Oh man.
I will say one thing, going back to our topic is getting older. Getting older, I think, does affect a person getting depressed more. I think that is something I'm dealing with is getting older. I do, yeah, because I think
That's
also because
proven.
I am salty. I'm a salty motherfucker these days, man. I am salty, sarcastic. Like I was never like this until I got older. And dude, even if I find it insufferable, I cannot imagine how other people feel about that. But I'm like, you know what? I don't give a shit what other people think.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I used to actually give a shit about what people thought of me.
But
I got old and said fucks are no longer given. Well, that and I became more of like I became more of the FAFO type.
yeah.
I became more of that. I became more because I came like the thing is that my temper, I don't necessarily throw punches, but I'm vicious with my words. The venom that I can spit, dude, it is like legendary. It's like, dude, I could make a person weep with what I can say to them.
Ooh.
Yeah, I could. But I try not to be that person because I don't like that person that I could become. I just don't. And again, honestly, that's why I play the games I do, because they allow me to just say fuck everything around me and let me just have my fun.
Yeah.
You know?
So do I.
So anyway. Yeah, I don't know how much else I can flog this horse of depression.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where it's hard to talk about it because it's like, does it just bring us all down?
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And but as you could tell, it really didn't we're like on Mikey's side of defense. Like, yeah, fucking sue that guy into oblivion and get all the money you possibly can out of his asshole. You know?
Yep.
Or Dazzo's bullshit job and his boss or whatever acting like, oh yeah, I'm cool, man. I'm a radio station boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. I smart. Or
Life.
life in general, yeah. You know, it's so funny when I know I actually loved playing the game of life with my fiance, but I'm like, this game is a lie. This game is a fucking lie. You know, because not everybody is a winner at the game of life. You know, and I'll tell you, I will admit something. When she and I play and like we can't get our kids or get our home, we get actually really pissed. Like we get salty about that. If we like overshoot the kids, like there's like in the very first game, there's like several spots you can get kids, right?
Yeah.
And I've actually missed kids like 5 or 6 times. I've even taken the wrong path to avoid kids because I went the wrong direction. I was not paying attention. I clicked on the wrong thing. Do you want to do life path, continue life path, or do you want to take a shortcut? I mean, whatever it was. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to take the shortcut by accident. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm going to miss my kids. And I'm like, fuck, I'm not happy. Or if I get a house and then she doesn't, oh, does she get mad? In fact, one of the games we played recently, I had 3 houses and she was so pissed. And I'm like, babe, you can move in with me. We have plenty of. It's like, that's not the same. It's like, well, yeah, it is. It's kind of like what's mine is yours. And you're like, doesn't matter. But other times, like we actually had like Brady Bunch size kids. Like we had like between both of us, we had like 10 kids. Yeah, yeah. Well, I believe it was the great Marvin Gaye one said, "Let's get it on."
Wow.
So.
Oh my god.
Yeah, instead of maga maga maga, it's fucka 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 fucka.
Jesus.
But you know,
oh man,
what you hear on 1K frequency is random ass shit. But it's how we keep ourselves from going nuts. I mean, like honestly, if we don't do this podcast, I swear to God, we'd all just go nuts.
Yeah,
we really would. You know, I think we would all just lose our fucking minds.
I mean, we already lose our minds every day listening to the freaking news.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
because the news is all about if it bleeds, it leads. Yeah. You know, and that's why I'm like, you know what? These freeform discussions are a lot more entertaining in my book. You know,
news is news. Everyone gets it, but
actually,
freeform discussion is way.
Actually,
better.
My brother just I was going to say this. This is actually something I missed on PC Gamer. I guess we could talk about this. Yeah, because he sent me a link about this one thing. Sorry to randomly talk about this, but you know, this kind of cheers you up. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, so this is the headline. Let me open it up on my phone here. Okay, it says, "Oh God, there's a buried Steam help page that shows you how much money you've spent on the platform, and you may not know." and you may not want to know.
Oh, I already knew. I already knew that.
So yeah, apparently there is a thing in Steam. It's a tool that can estimate the value of your Steam account.
Oh, I already knew that.
And well, for those that don't, just because you're a genius doesn't mean everybody else has to live up to your standard, you asshole. So, it estimates the value of your Steam account by looking at the games that you own.
Yep.
But it can't tell you. It won't be able to tell you precisely what it's worth. Now, I don't know how they exclude games that are gifted, or if they still count those. That's the one thing I don't know.
I don't think gifted games are counted towards that, but I could be absolutely wrong with that.
maybe towards the person who gifted you the games, it would.
Maybe,
but not to the game. Not the receiver though. The giver maybe, but not the receiver. I don't think that would to me make more sense. Or maybe they just negate it altogether. But they also include microtransactions. So like your shark cards, for example.
Yeah, sharks.
No,
Sharks.
why? Yeah, why would this be buried though? So apparently, you have to navigate. This is the path thing: help, Steam support, my account, data related to your Steam account, and external funds used. That's literally the link path. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
because it's
6
Steam.
layers of a web into the website.
Because
okay, I used to build websites. That's way too fucking deep up the ace hole. I was trying to say asshole, and I just said ace hole. I English good. I don't really know why this would be useful, but it did say our lifetime Steam receipts range from a few $100s to, and this was an outlier, over $16,000 at the top.
Give or take how many games you fucking own, how many fucking in-game options you fucking buy, and all that crap.
Well, see, and that's the thing too, because PC Gamer is a gaming, magazine organization. How much of this shit is gifted to them too, or how much are they buying on their own accounts to review?
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of our totals fell somewhere between $2,000 and $10,000, and our $16,000 team leader is a small fry next to the truly big spenders.
Yeah.
A poster in that Reddit thread shared a total of $26,000.
Yeah, again, that depends on how many AAA titles and all.
Well, no, that's just how much their Steam account is worth.
Yeah.
Based on what they've purchased and the microtransactions and whatever other algorithm they're using to detect all this.
And here's the other thing. People use fucking bots. A lot of people use fucking bots. Right?
How could you bot that though? Because that's a valve.
So they bought it. They buy fucking accounts.
Oh, bot. Oh, okay.
Use bots to buy the actual account, and then they fucking use that bot to do other things. I've seen it happen, and I fucking experienced it too, where they would take a certain Steam account and basically try to turn a profit.
Well,
yeah, I remember that. Ray was botted. Ray was attacked once.
Yeah, people fucking do a lot of shit.
Oh, they tried to hijack your account, didn't they?
Yeah, they tried it once. They did not get lucky.
That's why you change your That's why you change your password frequently.
Pride. That's why I have 2 tentacle Steam accounts.
Well, not only that, but so check this out. That $26,000 is only one thing, but there will be people who've put far more of that to shame with Counter-Strike skins alone.
Counter-Strike.
Last year, a Counter-Strike streamer estimated that the person who currently holds the highest Steam account level spent $500,000 to get there. Okay, we just talked about the lottery. What would you two do with $500,000?
one, if I don't buy a house, invest in one. That's your fucking mortgage payment.
I would see Dazzo as a house flipper. I don't know why.
House
Dazzo at dark.
flipper.
Dazzo at dark.
Bruh.
House flipper edition.
No, I would just need one house big enough for me, my family. That's it.
And your future misses.
Yep, that's it. I don't need anything else like that.
I don't even know what mine. I've never looked this up at all. I've never looked it up because I personally could give a shit. Why would this even matter to me? Look how much money I've pissed away. Look how much of my life I've pissed away on games. Like that's how I would take it. I'm like, I'm not gonna look at that.
I already knew how much I'm pissing away on this account.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's still interesting though that there is a thing, albeit buried inside of Steam.
It used to be. I think it was maybe a couple years ago. It was still available on the thing. I think they somehow buried it. I don't know why.
The only thing I could think of is because maybe people were like, maybe they like didn't want people to like step away from Steam and say, okay, maybe we're gonna lose customers because they are like, oh my god, look how much money I've spent. My wife's gonna kill me. You know, I mean, maybe they legitimately thought that.
Who knows? I don't remember. I remember that was the actual fucking thing.
I personally don't see a value at all, except a psychological, like I've just fucked my life. What I could have used this money for, like to buy groceries and pay my bills. Instead, I'm sitting here buying games. I mean, that's why like whenever I play trains, you can spend a fortune in that game just by buying like cars and like high quality stuff. And I'm like, dude, I just get shit off the deal with us because that's all free. Or I look for the freeware stuff, you know, from like the reputable sites. You know, I don't fucking care. Like the detail does not really matter to me. It's just the fun that I look at.
Yep.
Besides, detail can tank my computer anyway.
Exactly.
You know, too many fucking polys do not a happy computer make.
Amber says, and room for the cats.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well,
gotta have
I mean,
room for the cats and dogs.
You always have to have room for the pussy. I'm just saying. Unless the pussy's too roomy, then that's a real problem.
Whoa.
Yes, I said it. Yes, I went there.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Ember. I didn't mean to take it down that path, but then again, you are a badass bitch, so you know you can take it. So anyway, but yeah, it is. I mean, to tie that into our show tonight, I absolutely could see that tool being something that would absolutely depress somebody. Like, how much did I just spend? How much did I spend? I spent $7,000 on games, and then little electronic feelies because I have no life. Really? And then how many of these are kids who take their parents' credit cards and buy games? Because you guarantee it doesn't matter. The transaction alone is enough to trigger this. But I mean, how much of that was like, oh yeah, I borrowed my dad's credit card or my mom's credit card and I put it on that.
Hey mom, I'm gonna go buy $20 million worth of Fortnite credits.
Yeah. No shit, right? Oh, I gotta buy this. I gotta buy this. I have to buy this loot box, or I gotta buy this loot box. Otherwise, I'm not gonna feel important about my life. My life is gonna suck without this loot box. I'm just saying.
Yep.
I'm just like, nope. I'm like, God, that's the one thing too. If I'm lucky enough to ever have kids, how the fuck do I keep them away from technology?
You don't.
I mean, seriously, like they are not having phones until they're at least responsible enough to actually take care of a pet. So maybe when they're 40 years old, maybe 40 years old. I wasn't somebody who wanted a phone. I was gifted one, and then I got addicted. I'll tell you one thing: my fiance really, really did not ever want to get a smartphone because she knew she has an addiction.
Yeah.
And to to her phone. It's bad. Like it's bad. I mean, we'll be sitting there. I want to watch a movie with her, right? So we're sitting on the couch together, watching a movie. It's one of her favorite things too. We're like watching a movie that she wanted to watch. What is she doing? On her fucking phone.
Yeah.
Honey, what are you doing? Well, I've already seen this. I'm just listening. I'm like, really? This is not a time. This is not how you and I bond. Yeah, I didn't talk to her like that, but you get my point. Though it's like, yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
get it.
it's just like God. And then and actually, I'll be honest. That actually depressed me because I'm like, what? I'm less important than a damn phone. What can be so important that you and I, as a couple, for many, many, many moons, cannot sit there and enjoy a nice evening together, watching a movie together? Like, explain that logic.
It's called hashtag
And
work.
she says she blames her mom because her mom's the one that, because her mom used to work for AT&T. She's like, oh yeah, she got discounts. And I'm like, I don't care. I mean, look, I don't. I by the way, and these are iPhones. I hate iPhone. I have been trying to get her away from the dark side and have her join the force because honestly, you know, the iPhone is wrong on so many levels. You know,
Oh, God.
I like to control my device. I like to be able to put whatever I want on my device. She has to go through what?
Do we need to do a iPhone versus Android debate?
No. No. Look, I love the podcast, but I'll fucking quit if we go on that way because I will rage. You would not like Burple when he's mad.
Maga, 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 maga.
Yeah, now turn that into an AR-15. That's what it would sound like.
Brother, hell yeah, brother. Now you're talking my language, brother.
Wow, we have Hulk Hogan in the chat. Brother,
you're dead as hell, brother.
God
anyway, but yeah, I mean, and I think that's when you start like feeling bad about yourself. It's like, you know, your phone becomes so important that you're not even spending time with your significant other. That's not a good sign. That's not healthy at all. You know, it's like what has the family dinner become other than everybody either going into separate rooms, watching TV, or playing on their phones?
Yep.
You know, I mean, we are so far removed from actually eating at the table. I mean, that was mandatory when I was a kid. Like, you will join us at the table. You will eat with us at the table. There's no TV until you have finished eating.
Yep.
And then God, as soon as I got older, I'm like, yeah, I'm not having that. I go and isolate in my room and just watch my own shit. You know, I watch my stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's how I adult.
Off the rails.
No, actually, we did because this. I try to bring it back to depression because it all correlates.
Yeah.
You know, attention.
Sense, yeah.
No, with like attention, it's like, you know, we crave attention, and sometimes the way to get it is through this because we feel so shitty about our lives as it is. I mean, how pathetic is our lives if we had to literally, you know, do the shit we do, you know, just to make ourselves feel better. It's just, oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But by the way, if we go off the rails, that's just a 1K frequency guarantee.
Yeah.
We offer you no satisfaction.
We're no professionals.
And we don't offer you love. What we will offer you is the most insane bullshit you can ever imagine.
Exactly.
Your satisfaction is not guaranteed.
Exactly. If you want, I can take a shit in a box and mark it guaranteed and give it to you directly.
Belle Delphine said what?
Yeah.
A sphincter says what?
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But Yeah, it feels like I swear to God, our show has devolved into Ron on
Ron?
yeah, Ron, that what the fuck that Will Ferrell character. Will Ferrell's character in that movie.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like we've devolved into that.
Okay, I got some updates.
I will now perform a desk pop.
No.
I would have been more scared if he would have said, "I'm going to perform K-pop now."
That's been my joke. That's been my joke whenever I do transit security now. That's been my joke for the longest time. It's like assert your dominance, do desk pop.
Oh God.
They either get the joke or they don't get the joke. The ones who do get the joke, they're like, "You fuck." I'm like, "I'm dark. What can I say?"
Well, it's a good thing I don't get it because I'm not around Mikey all the time, so I don't really know. I'm not in the know. I'm not. See, dude, here's the thing. Here's the truth. I'm not cool enough to know. That's just it.
Yeah.
I'm not cool enough.
So, in case anybody's curious, Toxic did move back with his dad's house.
Ah,
Multiple reasons why.
does he still have that the
I believe
job?
he still has that car as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into too much details just because
No, I get
toxic.
it. I get it. It's just blame Atlas.
Blame
That's what
Atlas.
comes down to. It's hashtag blame Atlas, exactly. So,
Damn it,
but
Atlas.
anyway, I'm a baby. They're not funny.
Speaking of
So,
funny,
but yeah, you're
you're funny.
what? I was gonna say you're funny, but I was like, no, that would be an insult because you're not fucking funny.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
You're not okay.
Yes. No, I'm not okay.
But you're
I'm
okay.
KO. I'm KO'd.
KO'd.
Did somebody
So-
say KO, brother?
Oh my God.
Yep.
What's happening? Anyways, Ambulance Life Simulator did get a patch update the other day. Actually,
Wow.
last Wednesday was the patch update.
What did it break this time?
I don't know. I haven't even looked into it. I just have the post up here because I got my Steam open, and I'm just looking through some of the stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, technically I don't really care because I put Ambulance Life Simulator to bed. But I'm just curious to know what they
Well, honestly,
hashtag improved.
the game was DOA.
Yeah,
It really was.
Dead on Arrival. Yeah.
Yep.
Totally. Hey, Sentinel.
Exactly. It's just bad news bears.
Yeah. Minor performance improvements.
Minor.
Minor.
Yeah.
The game
What exactly?
fucking sucks.
What in the hell does that even mean? Minor update. It's like, dude, are you high or something? Your
The game is horrendous
ass.
in FPS.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fact
is.
that Police Simulator has actual better FPS than this game, that's sad.
Yeah.
That's
Dude, that was
fucking sad.
Dude,
And
I
they're the
was
same
I
devs.
was literally running at 60 FPS on my, jank ass computer, and it never started. I mean, GTA started bad. This game, that game never stuttered. I never had glitches like that. It just performed. How the hell can Ambulance Life not freaking perform? Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand. Like, I don't get. It's like, did you just devolve into Play-Doh land or something? Like, this is how you build your game is made out of Play-Doh? I don't know. I have no clue.
But the fact that Police Simulator performs way better than Ambulance Life,
That
even
says a
at this
lot.
stage.
Yeah, that
Month
says a
and a
lot.
half, 2 months into the whole fucking game. That's
Yep.
sad. That is
Yep.
fucking sad.
Yeah.
I
By
remember
the
when
way,
Police Sim first came out. It was bad, but they improved it ASAP.
I've said this before. I always felt that game should have been the replacement for LSPDFR. It had all that potential.
It still does, in a
No,
sense.
no. Once
But
because when they released Highway Patrol and opened up the map to include more of the city or the freeway, I was like, your game where it's broken is not that. Your game is broken when shit is either drivers are sticking their heads up out through the vehicle's roof. It's got a real problem when your characters for 1 second say, "Oh yeah, I saw a thing," and then you can't interact with them again to follow up. You can't give them reports. Your stupid point system is absolute ass.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like no. That was not the reason why I liked playing it. I wanted to have an LSPDFR experience that actually did not work like ass like LSPDFR did. You know? And
yeah.
well, and that's the problem. And it's like it had so much potential. It looked better because it was actually produced better. Like the graphics were a lot better. And I was on a shitty ass freaking 1050 Ti, which is weak as hell, but it worked.
Yep.
I cannot imagine how much ass my computer would be. My computer would probably blue screen of death and say, "I'm fucking never starting up again because you've insulted and offended me by putting this damn game on your computer." That's right. I said it. By the way, last week, I think it was last show, you were saying that one of the things that SES has a problem with is too many blog posts. You do know that Iowa Settlements Part 2 is now available, right?
Oh, I know. I saw that.
As a blog post. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is what you're wasting your time on? If you missed the first part of this blog, we highly recommend giving it a read.
I saw that.
I'm like, you totally, absolutely nailed that on the head. You know?
I mean, are we surprised about this? No.
No, we're not. We are not surprised at all. In fact, this guy right here, and I'm pointing to my chest with my thumb, this guy right here is so not impressed. I'm not even impressed by their, Driving America or their Project Road Trip thing, because to me that's just a waste of time. It's like build your states, then do the side project. Like Project Road Trip should be a side project. Ambulance Life is just as far as I'm concerned, that game is just F.
Project
Big
Life, the one that SES is doing, they are attempting, because I don't want to fucking spoil it, because it's likely already out there anyways. They are trying to bring pickup trucks into the game. Why?
So like the F-150s or
F-150s, Chevys, technically any kind of pickup trucks, right? They're gonna bring it into the game.
I would rather have. I want fixed axle fucking like dump trucks to take loads besides driving a big rig.
That's may eventually still come. That's still, I think, one of their plans. I don't know.
Yeah.
But from what I was reading and what I was hearing, pickup trucks will eventually be a thing in ATS. Why? Because you can use that as an actual escort for
it's
heavy hauls.
Okay, that's cool and all. But do they not realize that trucks and logistics already has that feature in the game? In fact, you can drive a lot of different types of vehicles.
There is a mod on the workshop that you can technically drive a pickup truck.
You could always drive vehicles with mods. I mean, that was a thing that goes way back. But it's like the thing is, the handling lines are so bad because they're not
it's
designed for that.
it's a
Yeah,
truck design game. That's why.
exactly. The handling lines
Unless
are for
they somehow manage to configure trucks to actually work like trucks and not like actual trucks, big rigs,
yeah. I mean, that's going to
then
be all,
that's
and
going
then
to be a
they
waste of
gotta,
effort.
well, not only that, but then you got to reprogram the AI to even manage that because you're going to have people wanting to do this more than driving trucks.
Mm,
I don't know.
give or take, but yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
have
coming.
no interest in that announcement at all. Like, I do not care whatsoever. Look, I loved this game forever. I played the shit out of this game. Not as much as trains, but I still put my hours into the game. I have fun with it.
Yep.
But every time there's some announcement with something that this company is going to do, I just my anger, and my depression grows. There's your segue point. This absolutely depresses me. And I'm not joking. Like, this really makes me sad because I'm like, why? Why are you
Wow.
doing this? You know,
Yeah.
you're depressing me, SCS. You know? So there you go.
Anyways.
I want to come up with an acronym for their name. I really do.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. It's because I want to know how much it hurts to even be an owner of American Truck Simulator for so many years and to realize that the game is becoming more about this widget versus the actual route we need to use said widget. But it is what it is.
All right.
It is. But it's for those who like it, cool. Have fun with it.
Yeah.
But for me, as a veteran truck driver of American Truck Simulator, I could give a rat's ass about this update. Give me map or give me death.
I would say give me fucking add-on trucks and DLCs.
Personally, I don't give a shit about all the trucks they have to add. Like, I really don't care about that. I mean, maybe people are like want more trucks. Cool. But there's only so many trucks that we even have in the first place. And most are going to be the major brands: Peterbilt, Kenworth, frickin' Freightliner.
I honestly don't know why they don't import the trucks that was made in 18 Wheels of Steels into the same game.
Wasn't 18 Wheels of Steel their game?
Yep.
The only thing I could think of would just be the coding would have to be completely rewritten from scratch. Because compatibility would be a big problem, I think.
I think the only
and his wheels of steel, are the trucks scaled to
I don't think so.
that map, or could they have to be rescaled?
I think they were using a way different engine back then as well. The memory serves correct.
Ah, okay.
That I think is the only reason why I don't think we have all these trucks that are in 18 Wheels of Steel but not an ATS. It's because of that. But I thought maybe one day they would start doing that, but I'm no truck modder. I'm just a guy that likes ATS. And I like my truck mods.
I mean, look, the plain vanilla is fine when in your early days of just learning the game. Once you start modding it, it does become a completely different experience.
Yes.
It feels more real to life, and that's what people wanted, the immersion of that.
I do. I like the immersion of real life.
I do too. And it does make me sad that game has better lighting than Trains does. Trains lighting is absolute ass, and fucking ATS is far superior to that.
Engine.
So yeah,
game engine.
Well,
I gotta say.
No, I was reading about it too. A lot of it is just a lot of it is not just the game engine. There's a lot more nuance to it.
Yeah.
A lot of it's
Anyways.
people don't know how to use normals. Like they don't know how to correct for normals.
Anyways.
So there's also something else I was going to mention too. Oh yeah, I just found out I might actually do this. If you can believe this, I actually might buy a game tonight. I actually might.
Oh.
It's on the Steam sale right now.
What game?
Hitman, the original. How much it is right now? It is going for the big fat number of 79 cents.
Hitman.
I could literally afford a 79-cent game right now. I could literally buy that, but I won't. Because I pow and I don't have any income, so therefore I pow.
Oh my god.
Well, besides that, I just paid fucking $212 today for fucking storage. So
Oof. Rip.
Yeah, yep.
Rip.
5x10 cost me $112 a month because fuck all U-Haul.
Oh man,
so,
sucks. Anyways,
yeah.
Skittles, wrap this up, man.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed tonight's depressing show. Sorry, what an outro. No, in all seriousness, we did change this at the last minute last night when we were on stream and when I was on Dazzo stream, because he made a good point. Like he was like just feeling like shit and decided, you know what, maybe we ought to just kind of reopen this topic up because it does affect so many people, and it is kind of a big deal. So, we wanted to discuss it. And yes, it got a little bit light and things like that, but I think that's part of how we course correct ourselves is just we have to laugh it off, otherwise we will literally go insane. We will literally lose our minds, because like I said, some people don't know how to handle it. So if you are struggling with it, don't ignore it. Do something and actually talk to somebody about it. Not you don't have to talk to a professional.
Talk to a good friend.
A good friend
you really trust.
Or
maybe a family member.
I would even recommend opening up the Bible, because what your experience has compact millennia. So, you can read those stories too. Talk to your, pastor or somebody at your synagogue or whatever. Somebody will be there to listen. And if they're good listeners, they won't say a word, because you can't listen if your mouth is flapping.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Also, a huge shout out to Mikey, who was actually able to make it tonight. It's always awesome to have him on the show. His stories are very compelling, especially this last one about how his work kind of fucked him over after the fact, not just during, but after, and then try to fuck his life up on top of that. It's like, no, that's not cool. And that's got a lot of ramifications for that company, and hope to God that Mikey actually can, take some action against them legally and say, don't, fuck around and find out. And then obviously when we talked about the games or whatever, it was just like, you know what, we got to lighten up the mood a little bit. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. So hopefully you'll all make sure you go check out that sweet merchandise that we're selling right now for 40% off, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And it's 1K frequency stuff. Get yourself a snapback hat, a t-shirt, whatever you can find on there. You want it. You want to promote us. I'm just saying. And tune in next week for the next show. And we'll probably be using the same application, this StreamYard stuff, because Discord sucks monkey balls and gives Dazzo a lot of depression about how shitty the audio quality has become. Yeah. So on that note, thank you all for tuning in, and catch you next time. Laters.
Bye.